Welcome back, everyone, to our fourth episode. I'm your host, Jasmine.
And I'm Darius.
And in this podcast, we talk about a little bit of everything
From our own lives to relationships and pop culture,
to movies, politics, sports, and music.
and whatever else sparks our interest.
So, welcome to the We're Just Saying podcast.
So, babe, how you been feeling for this last week?
Oh, thanks for asking, babe. I think I had a good week last week. This week has started off okay. I'm trying to think if anything significant happened. I don't think so. Yeah. So just the usual this week. I had a meeting today for work. So I spent a few hours getting together with other leaders in my district for work. So that was, typical. Could have been an email, you know. But I do have meetings with each of my teams coming up. So that starts actually this Sunday. Then my other one will be the following Sunday. So hopefully those will be fun and a little bit insightful for my teams. And I get to do St. Baldrick's Friday, which I'm looking forward to.
What is St. Baldrick?
So St. Baldrick's is a fundraising program that people come and volunteer to like shave their heads, and we're doing it at a high school. So it's going to be teachers and students that do it there, and they pretty much pay money, and we shave their heads, and the money goes towards research for cancer. So,
Okay. Sounds like a very positive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and I really want to get back on my social media posts, so I really got to focus on that this week too. So I gotta definitely carve out some time. I don't know. I think I might try maybe tomorrow, and then for sure on Friday, like afternoon. So
Okay.
yeah. What about you, babe? What's going on with you?
Nothing. My week has been pretty good. Slow at work, but we're doing like a employee appreciation. So just
Is it usually around this time of year?
yeah,
Okay.
they did because normally it's like a week. This year they stretched it out to 2 weeks. So
Oh,
like
that's nice.
they got like people coming into office and pizza parties and
I was just gonna ask you, since most of your team is remote, how does that work out? Do they do it every day? So it just depends on you draw the luck of the draw on which day you show up.
no. So because I typically go into the office once a week and my boss comes with me, we're gonna do it on the day that we typically come in, and whoever's whatever teammates are like within our vicinity, we make sure that
They know.
they know so that they can come in. She's gonna order pizza. They got like bagels and stuff.
Where do y'all order from?
Random pizza places.
I only
I have
asked
no idea.
because my salon meetings that I told you about that I went to today, we used to order from Portillo's, which isn't bad, or we would get Subway sandwiches. And I asked my boss, I'm like, hey, there's a Bocce's pizza restaurant nearby. Like, can we order some pizzas from there? And we've been doing it ever since. And the girls really like it. We get salad, we get breadsticks, and it's really good.
Well,
Authentic Chicago pizza.
well, normally, like for any employee gatherings, we switch it up. Like we have Portillo's for our holiday party. For this employee party, we're like I said, it's a pizza party, which is kind of just like you guys worked hard all year. Here's pizza.
Rewarded like we're in third grade.
Yeah. So it's just like but I
Still like free
I was
food
gonna say that's exactly what I was about to say. It's still free food, so
because they're giving us Jimmy John's for St. Baldrick's. So I actually got to email the lady back my order.
See, the only thing with that is like because it's a cold sandwich, so it's just like, man, I want something hot. Get the Subway.
Yeah.
But Jimmy John's is better for catering and stuff. So
yeah,
but anyway, back on track. But other than that, just preparing for that. Got some things in the work I don't want to talk about yet until things happen. So
for work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So other than that,
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, it did get a little quiet there, didn't it?
That's okay.
Uh, yeah, nah, that's all I got. So
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay, babe. So now that we're done talking about our check-in with each other, I wanted to bring up the DDG and Halle Bailey situation that's going on right now. So I don't know if you saw, but DDG like went live on his streams and was like going on a rant about how Haley was pretty much keeping their son Halo from him. So he was saying how he hasn't seen his son in months and people don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And that he went over to the house and he just wanted to hang out with his son. And then he got kicked out. And he kept saying like he just wanted to get his son and go hang out downstairs in their house, I'm assuming. Like, how you just popping up to somebody else's house and be like, I'm babysit our son
yeah, he wanted to kick it at her
at her
crib.
crib? Yes,
Oh.
at her house. Somehow, I'm gonna take my son downstairs and just hang out with him. You know, give him some snacks or something. Like that's what it takes to be a dad.
So wait. Okay, I didn't know this part. So wait. First of all, wait. Their kid's name is Halo?
Yeah, the son's name is Halo.
Okay. I kind of like that name. Second. So wait. So he was gonna just show up at her crib.
He did show up.
Oh, he did.
At least that's what he says.
Okay,
He says he showed up.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Of course, you got kicked out, nigga. Like, what?
Why are you just showing up to somebody's house unannounced? Whether or not we have a kid or not, you don't just get to come to my house whenever you feel like it.
Together,
right? Especially when she said they're not feeling well, that they were both sick with RSV. So these
which is
the mom and your son are sick.
Well, because this is so. First of all, I didn't know. I thought he was just trying to hang out with his son while he was sick, while DDG was sick, which is just like, well, if you told her you were sick, and then she was like,
don't come over
yeah,
here.
don't come. Well, not even don't come over. Well, yeah, don't come over here to pick him up to hang out with him. But if you was sick and went and was gonna hang out at her crib.
Yeah, but he wasn't sick. They're sick. Because I guess Haley.
That he got kicked out because he was sick, and then they ended up getting sick with RSV.
No, she was sick before. So they were sick the whole time because she posted her video on her social media saying that people weren't going to hear from her for a while because her and Halo were battling RSV. And then she asked, you know, even people like if any moms out there have some tips, like let me know. And then after that, he went on his live stream.
Let me hang out.
That I got kicked out of her house and she keep me from seeing my kid, and I guess I'm gonna have to go to court.
I can't believe he thought he was just gonna go kick it over there, especially because I had a lot of confusion there. So she had RSV and he went over there to go hang out with his son.
Mm-hmm.
And RSV is a pretty serious
respiratory infection.
So I don't. Yeah, see, he's losing me more and more on his side because I don't now. I already didn't believe him, but now it's like, you're. I think he got like a control issue or something. Then maybe now.
Yeah. So I wanted to just go over a couple of little discussions. So my first one was, do you believe his claims?
Nah.
Do you think that Haley, and again, we don't know these people, so we're just going based off of what we know on social media. Do you think that she would keep him from him?
So I don't want to think that because I try not to think that about anybody, any parents that another parent would just keep them away without, the other parent being like a danger to either, the mom or dad or to the child. So if they're not a danger, then I don't like to think about that. I don't. Now, from my outside opinion of not knowing these people and not knowing fully their situation, I don't think, from what I've seen online, I don't think that she would be the type to keep him from them. And, he's always, because then they get into it before because, like, he was, like, posting their kid online and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she went online and like did like a rant, and then she went back and apologized for like bringing it to the internet, essentially. Yeah.
So and I think she just had a problem with him having the baby online. Like that's something she did.
And he always has that baby online because that's the other thing. I think people said that he lied about not seeing his son because they were saying that he had him on his live stream just, last week or something like that. So people are trying to figure out, like, how are you not seeing your son if you just had
If
him
you just
on the
seen
camera? We just saw him on the camera, and I don't watch his live streams. I could care less about that man, but I'm just going based on what people are seeing on the internet.
Mm-mm. No, I think it's just like a storyline he's trying to do to, like I know he dropped a song, and to promote his stream and to get views. Is it Holly or Haley?
Haley.
Haley. I know Haley is a big name, and that's already like his baby mama. So I think that just him mentioning her brings more attention to his
To the
stream
song,
and
yeah.
stuff, and to the song. So it's like, all right, he just trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I feel like this is all attention seeking behavior because if he genuinely was concerned about custody of his son, he would go to court. He wouldn't have brought this to the internet. He would have went to a lawyer. The lawyer would have already drawn up the paperwork. They would have been filing it in court. You know, TMZ or Shade Room would be breaking the internet saying that DDG filed a custody, uh court arrangement and against Halle or something like that. Like that would be the headline. It wouldn't be he on his stream and complaining about not having
Yeah,
his son, especially when he turned around and he said that the reason why he's not going to take her to court is because he don't want to hurt her feelings.
yeah. And just going back a little bit, I do feel like it's just a thing now to run to the internet for stuff you should probably be going to
A
court
professional.
or talking to a lawyer
Right.
for. Like, for whatever reason, they think they think me and you about to jump up and go talk to Holly and be like, Haley, and hey, let DDG see his son. Let him see baby Halo. Like,
Right.
we got that power. Like, boy,
Hmm.
we just watching you.
Right.
And then we
We
ain't
don't
really
care.
watching you.
Right. Exactly. We didn't even know. At least for me, I'm not gonna speak for anybody else, but I didn't know who this man was until he popped up on her arm. That's That's how I know who DDG is.
It's crazy the amount of dudes that you don't know. You just know 'em because they're like with.
A
Because you
significant
didn't know
other.
ASAP Rocky.
I knew who ASAP Rocky was. I just didn't know his music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he's not, you know, I knew more about ASAP Rocky than I do about
DDG.
DDG. I
I'm
don't know
with you.
anything about him. I know he's like a streamer
Yeah.
and trying to be a rapper or something like that, or a musician.
So
Does he rap or does he sing? I don't even know what he does.
he does whatever the new thing is. He's not a singer. He's not a rapper. He's a mixture of between. I will say, like, I don't know any of his songs. I know I've heard some songs where he's been like a feature in and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
if you $1 million right now, name a DDG song, or I'll be like, I'm DDG, DDG. It's me, DDG.
That's how his songs go.
I don't know. When I tell you I can't name a song and I don't know how it go.
Oh, you just made that up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are both single parents. I have a son that's 15 and you have a son that's 12. So we are both on kind of like the opposite sides of the aisle because I'm like the single mom and you're the single dad. So I do have a question to ask. Basically, anytime a child is born to parents that are not married, the mother automatically gets sole custody of that child. If the father wants to establish anything legally outside of that, he does have to go to court to do that. Otherwise, hopefully the parents can be, mature enough and, amicable enough to be able to come up with an agreement outside of court and actually honor that and stick to that. But that doesn't happen. Sometimes you have to go to court because one of the parents or both of the parents are just unable to agree. Um, so basically, do you think that that's fair to fathers that they don't get the same automatic custody? I mean, obviously you can't do both. Both parents can't have primary
No.
custody of a child. It's just impossible if you don't live together.
So yeah, so I don't necessarily think it's fair. I think I think if you like you're gonna have to go to court regardless. I do think that once you establish paternity, then it's just working out through mediation, like a schedule, and depending on the situation, if they live close, then I feel like it should be kind of easy 50-50 kind of thing where it's split costs and all of that. Where if it's, if you guys are kind of distance apart, then I feel like, okay, well, clearly somebody's gonna have to spend more time with the son, and so there's other factors that should go into that. I don't think it's necessarily like fair that, but I do get it's like, all right, because you do have to establish paternity because sometimes that could not be your child.
Right.
So
Well, typically, a lot of times when you establish paternity, that's just for financial reasons a lot of the time. So that's usually to go to court and say, hey, this person needs to financially contribute to this child they have. So usually that's typically the first thing that happens. And child support does not equate to custody. Those are two different court issues that you have to go to court for. Unless you're married, then typically they'll bundle that together during a divorce. You can kind of establish child support payments and custody at the same time. Unless parents both decide, when a kid is born, like we don't want to be together. We want to co-parent, but we also want to get everything in writing so that way later on down the line, if something was to happen, this is all established ahead of time. Then you could go ahead and do. This is how much we're going to agree financially to contribute to our kid, and then this is the time that we're going to split. I think it gets harder, like you said, unless people live close together to do 50-50, just because once the kids become school age, somebody does have to be the primary caretaker to get that kid
well,
to and from school because that kid's gonna have to be registered in a school district.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But and for that, like I guess I should explain the way my mind when I say like close together, I'm like maybe they like 3 blocks away from each other.
That's close.
That's
I'm
yeah.
just gonna say under 30 minutes because I feel like in a past relationship of mine, I dated a guy who did have 50-50 custody of his child. So when I was with him, we did have her, you know, like 2.5 days every week, and then we had her every other weekend. So it added out to be like 5 days one week, and then the next week was like 2.5 days because we would get her Wednesday, and she would go back to her mom's Friday, or we would have her Wednesday to Monday morning. So I totally agree with that, or agree with a situation like that because we didn't live that far apart. I think it was maybe like a 25-minute drive, you know. And as long as, somebody's able to go and pick that kid up or establish after school care and things like that. Now, I will say the tricky part in that situation was they did end up having two different after school plans, which I think can be confusing for a kid. I
Mm,
feel like, I think it would be better if parents got together and actually had like the same after school plan. Like when the kid get out of school and there's nobody there to pick them up because both of us are still at work, like the kids should go to the same babysitter or get on the same bus and go to the same daycare or whatever the case may be versus them mixing it up every week, especially when they're younger. I think it
got
can be
that got
confusing.
that baby out everywhere.
Right. So I think sometimes it just might be more stable for the kids to just stay at one parent's house all week because then again there are times where I know in that specific situation where they forget things at at the other parent's house, and then it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and you run around looking for it. Now you got to drive over here to pick it up before you can drop them off at school and things like that. So, I mean, but I guess that's just the complications of co-parenting anyway.
Mm,
But that would be the most ideal situation, right?
yeah, that's the
50-50.
most ideal. Like I
Yeah.
said, when and situations has to be right. You know what I mean? Um, and hopefully the parents get along where they can come to that agreement too.
Yeah. Because I think the other situation is typically like, what is it, 80-20? Where somebody will have like every other weekend and then maybe like all like the winter breaks and the spring breaks and like the summer breaks. So get the custody of the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else about that?
Um, DDG, do better, man. Like, don't be out here lying on this girl, man. If you want to be with your kid, you should be with your kid. Get
Okay.
make the step to to get y'all talking. I know y'all got a little bit of money. Get some bread. Talk to a lawyer. get some stuff in writing and establish a parenting time and agreement, and now you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah. So the next thing I have to ask you is he said in one of his streams, I can't remember which one it was, that pretty much like it's not a lot of good black fathers out there.
Oh,
And so, of course, a lot of people ate him up in the comments and pretty much was like, don't go around perpetrating that, stereotype about black men because there are a lot of good black fathers out there in the world. And so, as a black father, I wanted to get your opinion on that.
well, yeah, well, that's just not true. That's 100% false. I think that's just spreading old stereotype of black men around. That was just created to make us seem, less than.
Hmm.
Where like I said, I have a full friend group of, well, not full, not all of them are black, but I have a lot of friends who are black that take care of their kids and in their kids' lives, and will give some of the baby mamas hell if they can't see their
See that
kid.
kid,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
So I don't think he should be out there saying that and spreading that, especially in this time and generation now we where black men are stepping up more than they
Ever, I
yeah
felt
than
like.
ever before. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, especially with everything going on in like the world. What is I don't know. You probably don't know this answer, but do you know what his demographic audience is? Like the demographic of his audience for streamers? Do you think like
I
is it young black people watching him, or you think it's some Caucasians mixed up in there?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea, but my thoughts, my opinion is a lot of teenage white kids
Because
and
that's what I was
sprinkling a
assuming.
couple of black dudes.
I feel like his majority of his audience might be white, which is another terrible thing
And
to like go around pushing that agenda
yeah, that's
out
even
to an
worse.
audience that is not even people of color. I could be wrong, so,
Right. We don't know, but
I don't know.
if our opinion is right, if our is right, then
Yeah,
he shouldn't be pushing it because that's even worse.
right. And I just feel like as a black man to have that come out your mouth that there aren't a lot of good black fathers out there when it's like there are a lot of good black fathers out there. Just like it's a lot of black men that are married to black women. Those are two stereotypes that get pushed out there into the world because they want to keep people divided. And we need to stop letting the loud minority take over and keep preaching these things that are not true.
And I would just say, as a black father, we should jump him, right? Should we? Like, since he out here,
I don't condone violence. Not when
like,
I'm being recorded.
nah, we gonna jump him. We do not condone violence, but
Legally, I'm not supporting that statement. You on that one, sir.
nah,
I don't want to get no cease and desist letters.
I'm
No.
just playing. I have no plans to jump DDG. That, you know, yeah, I like how you uh backed away out of that.
No. No, I don't. I got to be careful what I put on the internet.
Nah, hey y'all, listen.
What I say in the privacy of my own home, that's a different thing. But on the internet, I got to be careful.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
Any,
So, do you think that this will make it to court? Like, do you think he'll actually take her to court to establish custody,
I think
or
he
do you
should.
think this is all just a little show for attention?
I definitely think like it might be pub this was the kick my
Publicity
ass.
stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. That were us. Yeah. I think it might be.
Tease.
I think it might be one of those things. Whoop my ass. Anyway, I do think it is one of those. Um. Uh. I I would hope that if the case that he's saying, if that is his truth, then I hope that he would go to court to get it established out. Or like I said, they got money, they can afford some lawyers. Talk to your lawyer, talk to a mediator, and y'all can do it where it ain't gotta be nasty and ugly. Believe me.
I think that would be the best entrance for Halo in general. And I think for Haley to not have to deal with stuff like this again, if I was her, I would do it. I would just say, hey, I got a mediator. This is the time and date. Let's sit down. Let's hash it out. Let's all put it in writing. So therefore, you cannot go to the internet and cry that I'm doing anything that I'm not doing. these are the times and days that
Yeah.
you can have your child. I'm going to honor that. You honor it. These are our financial obligations to our child, whether they want to start setting money aside for his future, which I'm assuming they probably are doing, setting aside for college or
Uh,
schools that he wants,
oh yeah, that Little Mermaid money, that baby straight.
Well, she don't have to be the only person contributing
I'm not
financially
saying.
to their
I'm just saying.
child.
I'm
So
just
her
saying.
money,
I get you, but I'm just saying because she's done a couple things. That baby gonna be straight.
I'm not saying that the baby's not going to be straight, but the financial responsibility shouldn't just
I mean,
fall on her Little Mermaid money.
yeah,
Is
I
what I'm
get you.
saying.
I would. I say I don't know this man. I would
So
hope.
I'm saying
Yeah.
establishing something united together, saying, hey, if I put a couple $1,000s into this account every month, you also need to be putting a couple $1,000s into this account every month so it can start earning interest. And by the time Halo is, 25 or whatever age they decide he'll have access to that, then he can use that money to go ahead and pay for things. And daycare, I mean, I don't know if they're going to put him in daycare, but even schools, like, like those private schools and things, that a lot of times, depending on where you live, there's a long wait list and there's a financial obligation to education too. If you don't want your kid in public school, which I would assume they probably don't want their kid in public school. So
Nah.
setting aside money for that, deciding are you going to be present for school interviews and parent teacher conferences and the good joys of taxes.
Hey, get that child tax credit, man. Get that child
I
tax
don't know
credit.
if they care about stuff
I
like
don't think
that,
so.
but
It matters to some of us. All right. All right. So, babe, have you heard about this track girl who pretty much attacked another girl in track, and there's no apparent reason other than I think she was just losing the race?
I heard a little bit about it. Did she attack her?
Yeah, well, I mean, she's saying that she didn't, but she clearly like hit her.
So the video that I saw, and again, I think I saw this morning
Oh, okay.
for the first time. So I don't know when it happened. Do you know what day this happened?
I can actually tell you, I'm looking at the article right now, and this took place. What did it say? Where does it say it? March 4th.
So okay, so last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so in the video I saw that they were running, and at first I really couldn't tell because it looked like her arm was just moving. But it looked like she was
The
like
girl in front of the girl
the
behind.
girl in the behind.
So the girl who got attacked, her name is, I want to say Kaylin. I just lost her name. Okay, yeah, Kaylin. And the girl that attacked her is Alayla.
Mhm. Yeah, because I did see the girl Alayla. She did like a little interview, and I guess she was supposed to be apologizing, but the apology never came out.
So there were a couple of things with that I said this is online, so this is all alleged. Like that she apologized on that day, like when she hit the girl, and then the when she was giving her interview, if that I think she was just giving more of her side, and that they were labeling it as an apology.
Did they go to the same high school?
No, they were in
So they were
different schools.
competing against each
Yeah,
other.
they were competing against
Okay.
from different
That's
schools.
what I
They
think
were
I
like
was
at track meet.
confused because it looked like they were in the same uniform. So I'll tell you what I thought, and then I'll let you finish talking. In the video, I thought that how that when you run in and you catch up to your teammate to hand them the baton. I thought that that's what was happening, and she was accidentally hitting a girl to hey, get the baton. Then when I watched it the second time, I did see that the girl did have a baton in her hand.
Yeah.
So then I was confused. I'm like, are they on the same team or not? So she attacked somebody that she didn't even know. So just a total stranger that she was competing up against. Okay, wow, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, because so in the video you see because they were coming around that turn, and I really think I think they were kind of bumping into each other, So maybe that could have been something that do it. But this is just my mindset. But at the end of the day, from what her explanation was just like, I guess she was losing her balance and her baton was slipping and it rolled up the other girl's back. And so she had to shake her hands and move it back and forth to get it. And it's just like, you all them 2 hits that you put on that girl on the back of her head, that baton rolled up her back. You lost it. And so you hit her twice on the head.
By accident, and
By
the girl ended up with a
accident.
concussion.
Yeah, she had a concussion. It ain't no
How do you
possible,
accidentally hit somebody to the point that they're concussed.
right? And a skull fracture, like a possible skull fracture. Yeah, it's pretty serious.
So did she get arrested for this? This is assault.
No, she's.
So the parents don't want to press charges, and they don't want to press charges.
The parents might be pressing charges. The parents might be pressing charges, but as far as the assault goes, I don't think she's being arrested for it.
I don't know. But yeah, my son does track, so I'm just trying to feel like, how would I feel if I'm sitting in the stands and I see a boy running up behind him, hitting him in the head? Because I think I'm gonna jump out the stands.
Yeah,
and run up on the kid and be like, especially these are teenagers. You are damn near a grown adult. Why are you swinging on a child? What the goddamn
the thing is, it's another child swinging on a child. So
I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. My point is that why are you swinging a baton? I don't know what these things are made out of. I don't know the material. So it's like, why are you swinging a baton at someone's head?
Well, yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Is just like, because it's just like, why? Like, I don't see, like, unless it's because, and this is why I said, like, I think because, she bumped into her and she was losing. She was behind, old girl. And the point of the track race is to win the track race. And you not winning because this girl
beat her.
So now, hey, Mike Tyson, she also was in boxing. I'm making that up. She was not, she's not a boxer. But it's just like, yeah, for me, I do get what you're saying. I would definitely jump out the stands because now that baton's a weapon. Now I'm full go.
Right, because I feel like you said, she attacked her. Essentially, is what I didn't realize it was an attack, but now that I've broken down and analyzed everything, it's definitely an attack.
Well, when you look at it and you take her whole explanation out, because it's like, yeah, you could have did better. Who a parent is? A parent was right next to her.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the interview, because if that was my son and he was the attacker, right? After I beat his ass, you're getting on TV for this interview and you're profusely apologizing.
You're not gonna let him get on, shed a fake tear.
I'm not gonna let you get on there and make up an excuse about why you hit another student. I'm gonna tell you, get on there. You apologize. You say, I did not mean to hit this child. I'm so sorry. Whatever consequences I have to face, I'm willing to face them. I decided that I'm no longer going to participate in track for the rest of the season. I need to sit out. I'm not able to control my emotions and things like that. Like, we will have a speech ready to go because there's no way you gonna get on TV and talk about my baton got stuck and it was slipping out of my hand, so I had to beat the shit out of the girl in front of me in order to keep my baton in my hand. Like, what kind of fucking sense does that make?
Or stand on business. You're a sore loser.
Oh yeah, be honest. Yeah, you're right.
I was losing the race. I couldn't get in front of her. I beat her. And now there's gonna be consequences with standing on business. That's what they don't tell you. But don't go. You can't make that story up.
Yeah.
Like especially
unless they consulted with a lawyer already and the lawyer told them not to admit to anything. Because then at that point I would have just refused to do the interview. I would have told my kid, like, no, we're declining any interviews. We don't consult our lawyer. See you later.
Exactly. Because first of all, we saw the video, girl. Like I hate when there's a video and somebody be like, "That's not like your eyes are pretty much your eyes are lying to you."
You're gaslighting. That's
Exactly.
what that's
Like,
called.
yeah. See, you would know.
What's that supposed to be?
You're a gaslighter. I'm just joking. I'm just playing.
Because you're the ultimate. You're the ultimate gaslighter.
I've never done that a day of my life.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that story was pretty interesting. And yeah, it's just like and like I watched the video and then I saw the explanation and I was just like, well, this don't match up at all.
Yeah.
And it made me question. And it's just like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of
Tired of
seeing
what?
I'm tired of seeing what happened and then somebody come in like that's actually not what you saw.
Mhm.
Oh, like now I wear contacts, so maybe I didn't see it right, but no, I saw that correctly.
Mhm.
Like so yeah. So I just wanted to bring that
Yeah.
up because I thought that was crazy.
I'm curious to see what'll happen. Like if this will actually go to court or if there's going to be any consequences. Like has either the school come out and announced like if there's going to be any consequences or how they're going to handle it going forward? I know the one high school said that they didn't want to make any comments. I don't know if that was the location where it was held or if that was one of the girls' high schools. I know this is in Virginia, right?
Right. Well, it says okay. Her opponent says she tried to apologize, but it hasn't been received. That's what the Every Girl told, I guess, the local news station.
Okay.
But yeah, they are being sued, and yeah, I guess the one daughter is getting, or I'm sorry, what's it, a Layla? I guess
Alayla.
a Layla's getting like a lot of like, uh, you know.
So who's suing her?
So
Caitlin's parents are suing
yeah, Kaylin's family is suing a
Alayla's
family
family.
pretty much.
I
Which
don't blame them. I want to
yeah,
be reimbursed for medical and
yeah,
everything else, plus pain and suffering, plus the embarrassment of it being on social media. Like, imagine having to go back to school
well,
in
yeah,
a
but I
couple of
do agree.
days.
But I will say, like, I do get you, but hopefully, it's like a lot of people like saw what happened. It's like you shouldn't be embarrassed about being attacked by
Yeah,
somebody.
but
Like I
kids,
don't know,
these high
I
school
don't know how
kids
kids
are
are.
rough.
I know, so I want to fight one.
High school kids are very rough. So I, I would not put it past anybody. Kids make fun of kids for their parents dying.
What?
Yes, there are kids who go around making fun of kids because their parents are dead.
That's
Like
wild.
that's why your mama dead or that's why your daddy dead. Like they go around saying crazy stuff like that. So I would not be surprised if somebody went around walking around with a baton and like jumping at her or some shit in the hallway or, saying like, damn, you got your ass whooped on the track field or, some crazy weird shit that kids come up with to go pick on other kids because they're crying on the inside.
Okay, that's wild. I guess I can see that, but um, I'm not gonna say that thought out loud. Uh, well, I just hope stuff gets better than for occasions like that because that was kind of ridiculous, and then to lie about it that disturbed me so much.
Yeah.
So moving on to our next story. And I'm not sure if you've heard this one about the hairstylist that dragged the 15-year-old girl over pretty much lack of payment.
What do you mean by drag? I have not heard this at all.
Okay.
Like
She
physically grabbed her?
she had the girl by her hair and dragged her across her salon studio.
This was a
Whatever.
grown adult person?
This was an 18-year-old
Oh,
girl.
okay. So
And
18-year-old and a 15-year-old.
and when I get more into it, I will. So
Okay, tell me about it because I have not heard this one.
okay.
So I'm curious.
So pretty much the 15-year-old girl set up this appointment to get her hair done.
What was it like braids or like a
It was,
like a wig or
I
what
don't
was it?
I don't know. I think it was a wig.
Okay.
It's something that took about 3 to 4 hours.
Was the girl's
Um,
hair straight in the video or was it like this?
I don't know. It was a grainy video.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But so pretty much, so lady finishes the hair. The 15-year-old girl pretty much was supposed to cash app her the payment. Allegedly, she sent the payment, but it was to the wrong Cash App.
Oh,
So I guess,
allegedly.
yeah,
Okay.
allegedly. And so at some point, she calls her mom. I guess they couldn't figure anything out, and so the hairstylist felt like the girl started to run, or the girl did start to run. I get a little confused on that part. Uh, so she felt like she got through her. So she grabbed the little girl, roughed her up. Now this is kind of the twist on it: is the 18-year-old girl thought the 15-year-old girl was 18, which is why she says that she did that. But then,
Allegedly, she thought that the girl was an adult, and
Yeah.
really she's 15, and now it's an adult attacking a minor. So now her ass about to go to
So
jail
now she
over a couple $100.
of $150.
Oh, that's all it was
It
too.
was
$150.
Yeah, because she thought the girl was about to run out on her, which I don't know. The little girl could have, she's 15, they're young, stupid. She could possibly try to run out. Somehow, like I said, the mom got involved, and they were. It sounded like maybe trying.
And this was all recorded. Her dragging her was on camera.
On her security camera, you see her. Sorry, the video's in my head. You see her dragging the girl across the floor like she is hair pulled, that freshly
I wonder
done.
if we can find a video to put in here. Let's put the video for Kaylin and Alayla, and then let's put the video for this one in here.
Y'all check this video out here.
Sit right here and do somebody said it. I'm not mad. You just tried to run. You lucky I beat the
All right, so I just actually watched the video and I am speechless because that was crazy as hell to watch. So I am a licensed hairstylist and I run 2 salons, and I can say firsthand that we have definitely had guests walk out without paying for their services. A lot of times it's usually for like haircuts or something like that, or we've had to actually kick some people out in the middle of their service because they just were being really rude and disrespectful.
In the middle of the service?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just recently, actually, one of my stylists let me know that they ended up having to kick 2 men out, actually, because they were being unsafe in the salon, and ended up calling one of them a bitch. And it's like, okay, you need to get out because now you're being unsafe, and we're a bunch of women in a salon, so you're making it really unsafe in here. So they made them leave. But yeah, it was one time there was this lady that came in and she was getting she got a color service done by one of my stylists, and she straight up told her like, I'm going to my car to get my wallet. Like I left my wallet in the car, and then she never came back. And so we ended up calling the police, and we did make a police report. But the only thing is that this lady gave us a fake number and fake name. So there was no way to track her down because she didn't use any legit information. So, I mean, but I work for corporate owned salons. So, there's built in like stuff for that. But even for girls who are privately owned, who do suites and things like that, like, unfortunately, that is a part of the game. You're going to have guests who are going to complain. You're going to have to eat the service, or you're going to have people who are going to go out and try not to pay. So hopefully the best thing you can do is get a card on file versus Cash App. I mean, this lady's 18, so she probably not that business savvy, but I feel like for anybody out here trying to do a suite or anything like that, like I would suggest that you get customers information and things like that filled out ahead of time, and you have a card on file, so that way you can charge that card, and if there is a situation that happens, you can call the police and make a police report, and at least then you have some type of information to go on, because it is theft.
So you don't recommend dragging your clients across the floor by the hair, or trying to undo the hair, but trying to just start talking?
Hello?
No, like just keep.
Hello. What was I saying? Oh, you were asking me about.
Okay, so we'll start from there then. Yeah. This is gonna be a fun one to edit. All right. So you don't recommend?
It's every time you lean, stop leaning why are you doing sideways ahead to it? Just talk forward.
Okay, fine. All right, ready. All right. So you don't recommend dragging clients who don't pay by the hair and trying to take the style out?
So I'm 35, so I'm gonna speak from 35-year-old Jasmine and not from 18-year-old Jasmine because I don't know what 18-year-old Jasmine would have did. I probably would have dragged her across the floor.
18-year-old you would?
Yeah, probably. Especially if I thought that the girl was also 18 and I sat there and spent hours doing her hair. I can't say because we're so immature and young at that time. We don't think about long term consequences at that age. So I'm gonna say based off a 35-year-old me, no, I would not drag her across the floor. No. I don't think that that's a good choice. Now, especially not when my business has cameras. Now, would I try to whoop her mama ass if she ran up on me? Maybe. You know what I mean? Like maybe you get a confrontation with the daughter and then you call the police and then maybe the mama talks sideways. This is an adult, so if you feel like you could take on a grown woman, then sure. But not a minor, not a child. And especially not on camera. And then she posted this online, right? The Jayla lady?
I guess so,
Or
yeah.
whatever I don't know what the hairstylist name is. I don't know if that was her name or if that was a 15.
I think her name was Jayla. I think it was
Okay.
Jayla.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say her full name, but
I hope she got insurance. That's all I hope. I hope she has business insurance. I hope she got malpractice insurance.
I'm sure. I think most of her business, like that's
yeah, but insurance will take care of all this. What will end up happening? These
lawyers. Bad review.
No, I don't think so. No.
I don't.
No, she's a young black hairstylist whose clientele is other young black girls. I mean, not everybody, obviously, because that video that I just watched was a news report, and she's claimed that people are giving her death threats online. So obviously, not everybody is agreeing with what's going on, but I will say that her insurance will take care of most of this if she has insurance, which hopefully she does have insurance for her business. So then the family can sue the insurance and not her, because I'm assuming she probably don't have that much money to give them out of pocket.
No.
And I would just move my business somewhere else. Honestly, I would.
Oh yeah, she definitely
end my lease there if they already didn't kick her out. And I don't know what state this is, but in certain states, if you have a felony, you can no longer have your cosmetology license. So she should be careful.
Yeah, I will say something I heard is like, because you can just at any point you can just open up a business and become like a business owner.
Yeah, but when you're doing services on people, you have to have insurance.
Right, I know you need that, but it also should be like a kind of ethics type of class of how to deal with customers and stuff like that.
One of my other leaders that has another salon in my district was just saying that earlier, how these young stylists don't have any manners.
Right.
Like they don't know how to deal with the public. They don't know how to deal with customers.
Yeah, and I can kind of agree with that. It's like, look, like you said, you've had people run out on the hairstyle, which is.
But this is why I always tell girls fresh out of cosmetology school, you need to go work in a salon where there are senior or a veteran, whatever word you want to use, stylists around, because this is how you learn these things, by being around people who have been doing it for a long time. When you are fresh out of school, you don't know what you're doing. When you fuck up somebody's hair, it's a wrap. There's nobody there to rescue you. When situations like this happens where there's nobody around to be a witness to somebody walking out on your service and things like that, there's other people there to kind of give you advice on what to do. This is why you need a community. So join a salon where there are other stylists there that have been doing it much longer than you have, so you can learn from them and not just be out here trying to do it on your own and ended up in jail, because that's what she's about to go. She's about to go to jail over $150. It's crazy. Or I don't know if she's gonna go to jail, so I shouldn't say that. But she's gonna get convicted.
She's gonna get a fine for sure. A fine.
What is it? What did they say they charged her with? Second.
Right, some kind of assault.
Something assault. I can't remember.
I don't know the exact. I know it's assault.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to go back. But yeah, so it's like she's gonna have a record now because of $150 service, which anybody else would have told her it's not worth it. Let her go. just don't do her hair again, I probably would have put her on blast.
And she started trying to take the girl hair down.
Well, that's totally typical. There are a lot of people who go around doing stuff like that. Like if the guest doesn't pay, then the stylist would be like, "I want the hair out of your hair then," or whatever. And I mean, at the end of the day, I personally wouldn't do that. I would just say I would put the person on blast. So I would just say this person stole a service, and if they reach out to you online looking to get their hair done, like don't trust them. But also on the other hand, because it has happened before to people where they have cash app money to the wrong person.
Yeah.
And then if all you had was $150 and that person, and I don't know how Cash App works because I don't use that. I hate fucking Cash App. I have a bank account. Zelle me, please. But but for the people who have Cash App, can you cancel a transaction after it happens? Like, can you reverse that?
I feel like,
Or do you is there a dispute process?
so that's the thing. I feel like it's kind of like Zelle. Like even
Because
with
they'll
Zelle,
give you that notice, like
yeah, once this is sent, it's
it's
gone.
a wrap. You
And
can't get it back.
I do, but I know I don't have Cash App either because I don't know about the
Because
bank
I
account.
judged you about it.
But I
I
don't
judged
know.
you had to happen one.
I never had one, but
Okay.
then I came on Zelle, so I was like, cool. But ain't they got a process where like they either charge you and you can get your money right away, or don't they like hold it for like a day or two or
Who,
something like
Cash
that?
App?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Cash App is if you want it instantly, they charge you a fee, or you wait like 2 business days or something like
Right.
that to get your money.
So maybe there was a thing. So maybe she could have called Cash App customer service and be like, "Hey, I need y'all to return this money that y'all."
Yeah. Again, so I don't know the situation. It could have been that it was a legitimate accident and the 15-year-old obviously is 15. Her mama should have told her like, "Hey, stay right there. I'll be up there to give you the money." But I don't know what the mama told her to do, because if that was my child and my child called me upset saying, "Hey, I tried to pay for the service, I accidentally sent the money to somebody else," I would be like, "Okay, I'm going to come up there. I will pay for the service, and then we'll figure out how to get that $150 back outside of that stylist's time, because it's not her fault that we made an error on our part."
So, quick question for you: how do you feel about the one stylist saying that? Oh, and the one stylist. There's only one stylist. The stylist saying that she thought the girl was 18. Do you think that makes that any better?
No, because it's still assault. Assault is assault. It's just now it's assault on a minor.
Right.
So you still would have got in trouble. You still were gonna get. Charges were still gonna be pressed against you because you attacked somebody. What could have happened is this person could have fled the scene and they could have been the criminal. But instead, you decided to take the law in your own hands and you became the criminal. And now they are the victim and you look like the bad person.
Mhm.
And it is what it is.
Okay.
It's like Dave Chappelle. What is when Keeping It Real
Oh
goes
yeah,
wrong?
for
This
real.
is Keeping It Real, and it went wrong.
Yes. No, well, literally situations like this is why he came up with that skit. So then, in your opinion, who's in the wrong? Let's
She's in the
do.
wrong at the end of the day. She is the business owner. Like, we as people in business, if you're a business owner, you have to build in to your budget, into your, expenses and things like that, situations like this happening. It's the same thing that any corporate owned businesses do. Like Walmart has an estimated amount of thefts that they're going to have for the year. Target does too. Grocery stores do it, clothing stores, because people are going to steal. It's just one of those things that you have to inherent. It's an inherent risk of going into business that people are going to steal from you. So it's just something that you have to eat. So you have to build into your budget of, unfortunately, 1 out of 20 customers of mine they might pay with a card and then they might turn around 2 days later and try and dispute that shit with the bank or something like that and take their money back. You know what I mean? Or I don't know what other weird stuff that people do. So I would say if she does decide to continue doing hair and this all kind of goes away in her past and she still gets customers, don't do fucking Cash App.
Well,
Do a legitimate pay app that or a payment system that where you can have people put their information on file that is secure, and you automatically charge the service, or you have them put down the deposit, and
Yeah,
then you have them
that's what I was
have
gonna
the
say.
chart have the rest of the balance pay after the service is
Yeah,
ended.
and that's what most people do. Like when I get my retwist, like typically I put a deposit down, and then when I go, like I still need the card, so they charge me the rest. But
Right.
like, yeah, so I'm not sure. Like I know it was $150 service. I'm not sure there was a deposit, but even if there was, then especially on Cash App, I feel like you can request
Right. Because there
money.
are legitimate. Because you bringing it up just made me think about like your barber. Because I use it for my son too, and it's like that they use a legitimate site where the information is secure. You go online, you book your appointment, you put your card information in, you select the services that you want. They charge a little bit of your card. There's a notice on there that says you'll be charged X amount of dollars if you no show this appointment. You'll be charged X amount of dollars if you cancel within 24 hours. And then after the service is over with, he closes out the service. It charges my card. I don't have there. If I decide I want to give him cash for a tip, then I'll do that. Otherwise, I include the tip on the card, and then we just call it a day. There's no cash apping, no Zelling, no weird stuff. It is legitimately set up, and it makes you look and feel more professional, and you're less likely to get finessed for your services. So,
Wow. So like I said, I thought that was just a funny story, and then like I said, when I heard when I heard the girl talking, I was like, well, I thought she was 15. I was like, that don't make that no better. Like, like
or you thought she was 18. Yeah.
yeah, like, oh yeah, I thought she was 18. Like, you- no client should be treated like this.
It should be dragged across the floor.
Yeah, like now I get the anger. Now if the girl is trying to run out, like maybe detain her if at most if because like I said, I know she's young,
I
detain
still
her.
wouldn't.
But yeah, you ain't dragging because once you put hands on them, it's assault. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
and technically it could be kidnapping once you.
That's what I was about to say. I wouldn't
You know what I
detain her
mean?
because that could be considered kidnapping. a
Yeah,
minor.
that's true. So yeah, see, and now you over here.
Because I'm like the video shows, you have cameras there, so
Oh,
I would call the police. I would have did exactly what she initially did, was call 911.
last question. So in the video, we saw there was a whole nother person. in the
Yes.
video.
So I was like, is that the mama? And
And
then
it
you were
was-
like, no. And then I'm
That's
looking, it's
just
just like, it's just an extra person
It's
just
another
there.
when watch the whole thing. So you work at a salon. Let's just say you not managing it. You just you another stylist. You see your boss dragging the little girl across. Are you stopping that? Are
I'm
you
stopping. I'm
intervening?
stepping in 100%.
Or you just like I gotta just wash my hands?
No, I'm stepping in because why are you putting your hands on another human being? Why? There's never a reason, especially when it comes to a job, to put your hands on another person. That is why we have police. That is why we have a court system. Take them to small claims court and get your money back.
I just try to take the L. Like I just take
You would lose your job?
No, I take the L. Like I just lost.
You would just eat 100.
Yeah, I just lost 3. I think it was 3 to 4 hours and $150.
Yeah.
But like you said, I'll probably put them on blast, and but I guarantee, if I catch you outside, I get my little brother, a little sister, I guess in this case, I get my little sister. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, babe. So let's talk about Paradise, because last week you assumed that I was not going to get caught up, and
I
I
did
definitely watched the rest of the episode, so I am completely caught up. I finished the season finale, and I'm assuming it's going to be a season 2, right? The way that it ended.
Well, yeah, they set it up for a season 2.
Yeah.
So
So it looks
maybe.
like it's going to be a season 2. So let's summarize, since last week you felt like you were going to be giving spoilers. the season has ended, so if you ain't watch it, then we'll see you next week. But we're gonna do spoilers. So you want to start?
So I'm gonna try to explain it the best I can.
Because you didn't do so good the last
I don't.
time.
Well, I was also trying to hold back for spoilers because at that time the season finale had not dropped yet. So pretty much this is about post natural disaster world that is built under the mountains in Colorado. You have pretty much the billionaires created it, and they can only save 25,000 people. So you got the head billionaire. They took the president, vice president, and a couple people of what is it?
Of the United States, pretty only.
Yeah. United States only, because also this natural disaster. I actually caught this when I was running back one of the episodes when you were watching. Also there was like the natural disaster caused also a kind of a nuclear war as well.
Yeah. So basically, I think it was the natural disaster started, which then caused the nations to start dropping their nuclear bombs.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much the billionaires and president and random and just a couple random, probably rich citizens left the rest of the world to pretty much be destroyed while they went to their underground bunkers. It starts off, and so the series starts off pretty much somebody in the underground town killed the president. Help me out, babe.
Sure. So the main character is Agent Xavier Collins, and he is like the top Secret Service person for the president. So he's like the person that stays by the president at all times. And in the beginning, it kind of goes back and forth between the timeline, and the timeline is a year apart. So it's like, well, some of it's a year apart because some of it they kind of jump back a little bit too to kind of show you how they got the information to build the underground bunker in the first place. But in the first episode, it's only about a year apart, and so it shows like Xavier becoming the Secret Service agent for the president, and then about present times, you can kind of tell how their relationship and their bond kind of builds, and then it breaks down, and then as you watch the rest of the series, you kind of figure out why it breaks down. And like you said, the president dies in like the first 15 minutes of the show, and then the main plot of the series is to figure out who killed the president, right? And so then the other main character that we have is this billionaire lady named Sinatra. She pretty much started like a tech company, right?
Yeah.
And she ended up getting all of this money. She ends up meeting a husband, having some kids. One of her kids ends up getting sick and then passes away, and then that kind of like changes her brain mentally, and she kind of loses sight of things for a while, and then she ends up going to this conference and meets this guy who makes a prediction about the world ending. And she actually takes it serious, and then she starts to take her money and put it towards building this underground bunker, which is essentially a city, right?
Yeah.
An underground city inside this mountain in Colorado. So long story short, Agent Collins is trying to figure out who did it. He ends up getting like pushed out of the investigation because the people up top are trying to like keep everything really secretive for the rest of the people that are in the community. And so he goes along and does his investigation solo, trying to figure out what's going on. And along the way, he starts to discover what the president the reason why the president was actually killed, which is because the president discovered that what they thought was a apocalyptic world-ending disaster really wasn't as bad as they thought. People actually did survive, and Sinatra, the main lady in charge of the community, does not want people to find them, which I said I personally agree with. I can understand the reasons why behind it, which we can talk about in a little bit, but she didn't want people to find the community because she felt like if we go out and we tell people that we're here, they're going to come and they're going to want our resources. They're going to want to come and destroy this piece that we have, so it's best if we keep it a secret. So unfortunately, she started killing people to keep that secret, and then the president ended up finding out, and he thought that everybody should know. So then we thought that the president was killed because of that, when that's actually
That
not
wasn't
even the
even
real
the
reason why
no.
he was. Plot twist in the last episode.
And it's not even
Somebody else killed him because his boyfriend got sick and died, essentially,
yeah.
right?
So you picked up because
They were together.
I
That was his
heard.
lover, for sure.
Okay, no, because I was like, they like, but it wasn't. I don't feel like it was said or anything.
It wasn't outright
But
said, but it was definitely
okay,
implied, strongly, heavily
was it
implied.
okay? So that's why I was picking up on that. But I was also like, oh, maybe they're just really good friends.
No, it was a lot of flirting going on. He went out to several different stores and bought the man beer, babe.
Yeah, a good friend. Like I want to remind you of home.
Nah, they were in love, which was fine. It was cute. It was, what's the man's name? I can't think of his name right now. I know the boyfriend's name was Adam.
What was it?
Because it was, yes, it was. It was.
He just settled for that because they couldn't pronounce his real name.
Yeah, and I think he was from West Africa. I don't know exactly.
Can't remember.
Yeah, he was from West Africa. So, he had a West African name, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but he went by Adam because the white man that he was with couldn't say his name.
So I was, because it's like I saw it, but I didn't pick up, and then I heard it, and then you just said like, so he's in this relationship, and I was like, so it's true.
Yes, they were together. They were lovers.
I picked up on it, but I didn't pick up on it.
This happens way at the end of the season, but pretty much in order to get the city built, they get all of these people to come in and fix it, right?
Yeah,
and then
to create it,
to create this city, but they don't tell them that it's a city. They tell them that they're building
a
recycling center. And so the head guy that we're talking about, he was like the construction site manager or something like that, in charge of the crew. And he ended up discovering that there was some type of toxin inside the stone that they were digging, inside the mountain that they were digging into. And it wasn't going to be a problem for the future. Like once the digging was done, like the residue would go away. But the people who were actually doing the construction became sick. And it became really important to him to let people know. And once he did, they ended up kicking him off the work site because the priority of building the city was a lot higher than the lives of these men building it.
But isn't that the most like American thing? Oh, yeah. Was just like, hey, people are getting sick from this, and they just like, we're gonna take away your key access, and also you're fired.
Yeah, it's called whistleblowing. And people get fired for that all the time.
And don't tell nobody. I know it's just so American. It's just like, fuck the health of these people. Like we're going to continue to do this, and also keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, it happens all the time. That's why the Whistleblowers Act became a thing, because it's like people find out some corrupt shit was going on. And they're like, hey, there's some stuff over here happening that shouldn't be happening. Can we fix this? And they're like, our profits require this activity to continue going. So we need you to disappear since you discovered it, and while the rest of these people mindlessly work on it without knowing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, what else? Okay. So after he got fired, let's go back to the beginning, right? Because we kind of jumped around a little bit.
And so I will say one thing that is important, that came about in the show is when the people outside, of the dome, or I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah, you can call it dome.
The people outside the dome is somewhere along the line. I know this is still a little bit out of order, but I do want to say because it's kind of important. Is Xavier finds out. So Xavier had a wife who couldn't make it to Agent Collins. Sorry, I'm not sure if you've been saying Xavier or Agent Collins. Has been made it to the dome. However, his wife was supposed to make it and she wasn't able to make it, so she got left behind. And while in the dome, he comes to find out that his wife is still alive.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you take back over from there. I just want to throw in that little tidbit.
Yeah, right. So he finds out that his wife is still alive, or he thinks his wife is still alive. He's been told that.
Yeah, he's been told.
Right.
And there was a recording of her voice.
So I don't know if that's legit or not. That's what I'm saying. He thinks that she's still alive.
Season 2, baby.
Right, season 2. I mean, I hope that that's the case, but people can do a lot of things with voices these days. So,
AI.
right. And I don't know if they're making AI exist in that in their timeline, but
I mean,
I would assume that it
created
was
a-
manipulated in some type of way. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's possible they created sunlight underground, and that. Why would AI should be
exactly.
nothing to them?
Yeah. Um. So the other characters that are in there, Xavier has a son and a daughter. The president has a son. He has a strange wife. He has a dad. The agents that also work with them are Billy, Jane, and then is it what's the
The
one
one
other black lady who was
who's
sleeping
sleeping
with
with
the
the
president?
president?
Is it Robin? Is it Robin?
Let's go with Robin for now.
Okay.
Okay, but no, continue going out. I'm
Okay.
gonna jump
And
in.
then you have the vice president in there too. I feel like those are all like the main character. Oh, and then the therapist. I can't remember her name now either.
The Gabriella.
Gabriella, yeah,
And
Gabriella.
is this her? Yeah, Nicole Robinson.
Okay, Robinson was her last name. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So Nicole.
Mhm.
Yeah. So those are like the main people in the show. Um, let's talk about favorite and least favorite characters.
Okay. Um. Okay. So, in these type of shows, like Sterling K. Brown, Xavier Collins, hands down my favorite. Could do a couple things better, but I still like him. I get where he's going, and I get his motive. Now we gonna definitely differ on this. My least favorite character is his daughter.
Oh, really? That's
Yes.
so shocking. Okay, why?
Because she messed everything up.
Because she didn't
The
listen.
plan was intact, and all she had to do
Was stay.
and she couldn't. She had to follow a boy, and that took her to go with. We doing spoilers, right?
Mhm.
That took her to go with Jane, and now she's captured.
Yeah, but she got back home.
Who?
The daughter.
She did, but you didn't know that at the
Right,
time.
until
It's
the
like,
end.
yeah.
But she ended up going home.
So but it's still like she messed up the initial plan. Xavier was on his way, did everything he did do, intended to do. Got the guns, had everybody in the right spots, was getting signs up and everything. He was good until he get in there and that lady said, "Hold on, let me make a phone call." And that, so I just hate when like they put that one character in and that messes up the whole plan. Like it was all set. I just cannot stand that.
Yeah.
Now, how about you?
So I do like Xavier. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like they should have gave I feel like they should have gave his character a little more personality. Like even his interactions with his wife, like she was like bubbly and lively and had like a lot of energy and like sass and fire, and he was kind of like the complete opposite. Like his personality was just too.
He was like kind of calm, even keel, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that. I would call it like almost like what am I trying to the exact word I'm trying to look for? Like unable to express emotions properly. Like he's like very unattached to his emotions. Like just like trying like put a guard around his emotions, and I can get why at work. Like at work as a Secret Service agent, like he has to be really focused and paying attention to what's going on. He can't be, thinking about
very fact based.
Yeah.
And like attention to details of what's going on.
Things like that. But I'm like, I just felt like with his wife, I didn't feel like the warm feelings of love and things like that towards her from him. And I felt like almost kind of like that with his kids too. So I was like, that's why when he ended up hooking up with Gabriella, it kind of felt forced to me personally.
You think so?
Yeah, it just felt really awkward. Like that whole scene felt like obviously he needs the attention and the companionship and things like that, but I don't know, it just felt really forced to me on his part. Like he was trying to make himself do what he felt was normal, even though it's not really his normal. But no, my favorite character is the president. I enjoy him the most. Yeah, I like Cal. I thought he had a really good personality. I felt like he wanted to do the right thing, but I felt like based on his upbringings, his dad, the pressures of
He wanted to be an English teacher.
right, I felt like he just got locked into these spots, and even like you could see him struggling with every single decision that he made. Like even with the speech part, when they were like pre-record this speech, he's like, "No, I want to tell the people the truth. I want to tell them go and be with your loved ones. Obviously, it's impossible for us to save everybody, which is a realistic thing. Like it was not gonna be able to save everybody. So it's kind of like go be with your family members before the world ends, and then." He ended up, once he found out that people were alive, he was going to make the right decision, which was to let people know. And I think he kind of knew like his time was coming to an end. I think he kind of had that feeling. So that's why he started leaving messages and making secret recordings and things like that. My least favorite character is that bitch Jane. Cause she fucking killed Billy. Bitch.
We haven't really
Go somewhere and die.
Now we haven't really
We have not talked about Billy.
We haven't went over Billy's character. Billy was pretty much another agent that worked with Collins. Jane is another agent that worked with Collins as well. They're all Secret Service. However, they were brought into this dome, safe haven, whatever you want to call it. Kind of under the guise of with Sinatra in order to take care of like loose ends, or if secrets got out that Sinatra didn't want to get out. So that was Billy and Jane. However, we kind of get a little bit of Billy's backstory, his growing up. He went to jail.
Killing his uncle, right?
Yeah, he killed his
uncle. Tried to make him. His uncle was abusive and tried to make him kill a dog, and so instead he shot his uncle.
Right, and so he went to jail for that, and then he got recruited from the army because he was pretty much his story is he's the big bad guy who doesn't really back down, not scared of nothing. And they send in Jane, who is supposed to like kind of his love interest, like they play weed together.
At the White House, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The president's house.
At the president's house. But they kind of got like they have a relationship going as well. And so, however, like I said, they're both working for Sinatra, but I don't think they know each other are working for Sinatra, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. So I think Sinatra hired them both separately to work separately without each other, but they're both kind of like sleeper agents essentially. Like they are there to protect the president, but they also are really there to just carry out her wishes.
Right.
And Billy, because of the way he grew up, he really didn't have a family, so he really connected with Xavier. Xavier kind of like took him under his wing, introduced him to his kids, so that became his family. That became who he cared about. And so at a point in the show, the president leaves a message for Gabriella, and when Gabriella and Xavier are hooking up, she tells him like, you can't trust Billy. The president said that Billy is dangerous. And so then it's kind of like, okay, well, can we trust Billy? And then that's when you go into Billy's backstory of like everything that happened to him growing up and how he came to actually really truly care about Xavier and his kids. And so he decides he wants to tell them his secret that he's been carrying, which is that
he killed like some explorers that went outside into the world. And then he killed people who were also out
survivor,
there as well?
Yeah.
And a survivor too. Yeah. So
because I think in the video I said like there's an extra person with him, and then she was like, I need you to do what I told you to do, which is take them all out.
And then he took them all out.
So he had to kill all of the people, or kill all the explorers, and then kill the one survivor. And so he kept that secret, and so he was going to tell Xavier. And did Sinatra know that he was going to tell, or?
So he went up to Sinatra.
Oh yeah, he threatened her.
He threatened her because he was like, pretty much he was telling her to back off of Xavier because that was like his family. And he said he was like, if she was gonna kill him, to send the biggest, baddest motherfucker. And
and she did.
technically, I mean, she didn't really do, because like, I think you even had brought it up, like, she poisoned him.
Right, yeah. That's the other thing. It's like, what a female way to kill somebody. To be the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the goddamn compound, underground city, and you turned around and you poisoned this man. Like,
And his bigness.
you could have shot him. Like, I feel like if she really wanted to make a point, like, she could have got him in bed, got him butt naked, and then, like, reached under the pillow and put a gun to his head.
That's too
and
messy.
being like, pull the trick. Well, yeah, I guess, because she had to stage it to make it look like he killed himself, right? Like, it was an overdose.
Yeah.
But
which I think is crazy. It's like,
everybody believed it. That's what I thought.
like,
That people believed
well,
it.
we can talk to that, because that goes into some plot holes.
Yes.
Because I'm with you on that. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
In a couple minutes, we'll get to it. I know. All right. So pretty much, Sinatra sends Jane to kill Billy, and that's when she became your least favorite character.
Yes. Yeah, I still don't know how to feel about her at the end of the show. Because she shot Sinatra in the throat, so obviously she wasn't trying to kill her. She was just trying to wound her, make it look like she was dead, so that she can kind of get her payback, because she couldn't get a fucking weed. Which is
why I liked her.
No,
Believe
she's
it
a
or
fucking
not.
psychopath.
Exactly. I like it when if you're crazy, be crazy. And so if Sinatra would have just gave her the weed, she'd have vocal cords right now. She would be laid up in no hospital.
I still don't like her because she killed Billy. But yeah, so it's like, I still don't know how to feel about Jane, because she claimed she killed Xavier's daughter, but she didn't actually kill her. So I don't know if she's
playing. I think she was.
I don't know if she is on Xavier's side, or if she just out for her own best interest. So like,
and I think that's what it is. She's out for her own best interest. That's why she didn't really kill Sinatra either.
Right. I get that part, but it's like, then why did she follow the initial order and kill Billy? Like, you know what I mean?
Because Xavier's the key.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they couldn't kill his daughter, because if they would have killed his daughter, all hell would have broke loose. Yeah, so I feel like that would have just really upended the show. So they had to kind of keep her alive, but I don't know. It's kind of another weird plot twist that I didn't really enjoy.
Which one?
The daughter getting kidnapped and then nothing actually happening to the daughter.
Yeah.
Like, it turns out, she actually just kept her and then gave her back.
And that's another reason why I'm upset, because also nothing happened with that storyline. She was just fine. So
right, it's just kind of like, what was the point of that one?
So I get you on that. Mm-hmm. See how it goes back to the daughter, though.
Yeah. How do you feel about the son, though? Jeremy.
I feel no way about him.
You don't feel like he's going to be like the next leader?
I didn't pick up on that at all. No.
In the last episode, they kind of show they kind of show it in tandem with each other, but it's pretty much like, how Jeremy went and told everybody like what's happening, like he read from that book.
Oh, you talking about are you talking about the president's son? Yeah. Or okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I see that. Sorry, I was thinking you talking about Xavier's son.
No.
And I was just like, I don't feel nothing.
Oh, no, that boy ain't do nothing.
Yeah, that's why I was like...
No, I'm talking about the president's son.
You talking about the president's son,
yeah. Sorry. He was reading from the tablet, and then at the end, it shows, like, the people meeting him at the park, and then it shows, like, the vice president taking Sinatra's seat and kind of, like, taking a hold of, like, all of the billionaires. So now I feel like it's going to be...
I feel like he'll lead, like, a revolution.
Yeah, he's the vice president against the deceased president's son for season 2, while Xavier is out trying to find his wife in the world.
It's funny to say in the world. Yeah. Okay.
So let's get back to this story. That the president knew that the world was ending. He kind of was hinting to Agent Collins about it. And so there's a particular scene that happens where Xavier is told not to put his foot down with his wife.
Yeah.
And he tells the president, she hasn't listened to me for 20 years. She's going to do whatever she want to do. And then when the wife is getting ready to leave, he kind of tells her, like, stay. And she says, no, I'll see you. And then she gets into the taxi and goes to
Right.
the airport.
And
And then later on, Xavier is mad at the president because he's pretty much like, why didn't you tell me what was going on so my wife wouldn't have gone to Atlanta? And he's like, I did tell you. So my question is, babe, who's wrong? The president or Xavier?
so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with Xavier.
I agree.
Like, I feel like he had a inkling, like, but the president did everything but tell him directly like what's happening. But the president gave him warnings, like, hey, like you said, put your foot down and tell your wife, not to go. And he was just like, and you saw the way he tried to get her to stay, like, babe, don't go. And she said, I have to do this, my job, boo, boo, boo. And he just like, well, okay.
Yeah.
See you Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like he should have been picking up on the clues. And again, the president did not give enough because I feel like he could have been like, you should keep your wife close to you because I just have a bad feeling. Like, I think you should keep her safe. Like, I can't give you all the details, but I just think that she shouldn't go to Atlanta. And I feel like that would have been more. But I feel like he was just kind of like, oh, is she going? The president.
Mhm.
He was like, oh, is she going tonight? And it's like, yeah, she's going tonight. He's like, oh, okay. And then that's when he was like, is everything going to be okay? And then he's kind of like, look, if something happens, I'll get a plane to her. Again,
So
this is all saying with also that they anticipated that they still had longer before the world was going to end. And I guess we can talk about how it actually ends. So what happens is the one dude who originally predicted the world was going to end, he said it was going to be a giant wave of water that comes and washes up across the entire world and takes people out. And then he also predicted that because of this giant wave that there would be
it was like
nuclear war.
it was knocking stuff out, which was like the countries were, I think, and that started like a nuclear war.
Yeah. But what actually ended up happening, and I don't know if they ever said it in the beginning, but what they show you is that there is an underground volcano that erupts in Antarctica.
Oh, see, I didn't peep on this. I didn't catch on to this.
Oh yeah, so that's initially how it started. So there is an underground volcano that erupts, and it's like in Antarctica, and it like superheats all of the ice up there, which makes all like the icebergs start to melt, and they melt really fast. So there's a lot more waters on the Earth, and then the icebergs start to break off in chunks, so then that causes the wave, and then this wave that they predicted, they didn't think it was going to be that big. Well, it actually turns out that it was like 300 feet or something like that tall or something like that. I can't remember the exact number.
I don't know.
But it's like a really big ass tsunami that like goes and takes over the world. And then you just sit and you watch as like it goes over like Australia, New Zealand, and everybody there is gone. And then there's like this one scene where this news reporter, she's in Florida.
Was she in Florida or New York?
No, I don't. No, I think it was south because I think everything was moving forward, like north.
It could be because they were talking about. I know they were talking about Atlanta and stuff too. So yeah, that makes sense.
So they were like, everybody at the White House was like freaking out because they were like, we thought we had more time, we didn't know what's gonna happen, and the scientists are all like, well, we gave y'all a window. It definitely happened sooner than we thought. We thought we were gonna have signs that it was gonna erupt, but it gave us like a 5-minute window or something that they had like a sign. Then after that, 5 minutes later, it actually ended up erupting. And then because of like all of the seismic movement that's going on, California ends up having an earthquake.
Yeah.
And then, like we said, all of a sudden, as the waves is going through all of these countries, like what was it, Russia and China decide that they're going to start dropping nuclear bombs. So then the president has to decide whether or not he wants to drop nuclear bombs too. Was it ever decided whether or not he did the EMP?
I think he chose against it, didn't he?
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember because some of that episode I was kind of falling asleep on because I watched it a little late.
No, I feel like I'd have to watch it again, but I feel like he voted against it. He was just telling the story about how
it would happen.
Yeah. And they invented the whatever it was called. And then I think he just ended up going against it.
Yeah, I would assume so since all of their computers still worked once they got into the bunker. So I would assume that he did do it because I feel like it would have still destroyed their bunker too, right? The computers there.
I don't think so. I think somehow the bunker was
supposed to be indestructible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, it reminded me of like the Bible, Noah's Ark.
Oh, okay.
So like a great flood happened and people got on a boat, but instead of it being a boat, they climbed into a city inside of a mountain, and they were safe there for a little over a year. They were on Noah's Ark for how long? I can't remember how many months it was,
You
but
trying to take me back
it's
to Sunday
essentially
school? I don't know.
the Bible, the story of Noah.
I get you.
Sinatra was Noah.
Yeah.
Though, did you think it was weird though that they didn't bring any animals?
No, animals probably would have turned into food quickly.
Yeah, but you need like how I thought it was weird. So I thought it was
Had the
weird.
rabbit. Was it a rabbit he had?
It was a duck that
A
dude
duck.
put inside the water. It was a fake duck, which is totally fine. I
No.
wouldn't bring all kinds of animals, but I thought about like
No, then the neighbor brought up.
oh the dog. Oh yeah.
Dog. There was
yeah,
a
it
dog.
was a dog. Yeah. Yeah, so then the one neighbor across the street from Xavier did sneak a dog in. I can understand pets because especially like cats because cats reproduce and things like that. But I don't know. I feel like dogs would have been a good addition to it. But I just thought about like meat because then when Xavier was saying like he missed meat, like he was eating a plant-based steak, and I was just like, well, that is weird. Why couldn't they have brought cattle? Like bring some cows and bring some pigs and bring some chickens because then you could have eggs from chickens and you can also eat the chickens. So I was like, that's meat. I don't know. I just felt like I thought that was a weird choice not to do and just do everything plant-based, but it is what it is. Not real life. It's just a show. So, so yeah. So you agreed that it was Xavier. He could have did better.
I think even though he wasn't told exactly what happened, he was kind of given a warning, like you need to pretty much convince your wife not to go to Atlanta.
To stay close by, so that way if something was to happen, then all of y'all can be together. Yeah. Okay. So if we were in this situation, babe, if you were Secret Service and I had a job that required me to travel and your boss pretty much was like, you need to put your foot down with your wife and you had to convince me to stay. What's your speech? Let's hear it.
Okay. Now, I'm CIA. Am I a CIA agent? Can I be a CIA agent?
Secret Service agent?
Secret agent? Yeah, Secret Service agent?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case,
you gonna lie? Because I would lie.
Yes. Yeah, I'm lying to you. I ain't telling you like I don't know what's happening, but it's like, nah, hey, look, the president got Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce coming through. And you gonna be in Atlanta. I can get you to meet them. But you cannot go to Atlanta.
Oh, that's a terrible lie.
You know,
I was like, why is the president getting Meg and Beyonce?
He's throwing a super secret party where only the most exclusive are gonna be there.
And I was invited.
And we are invited.
I wouldn't believe you. So that's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying. I work CIA, girl. Why would I lie? I work for the president.
You work Secret Service, not CIA.
Sorry about what I keep saying CIA.
You want to be a CIA's agent real bad.
Apparently, I couldn't make it. No, yeah, I'm giving you some like, all right, so that don't work, right? So then I'm telling you, look, then I'll probably hit you with the truth. Like, all right, look, I don't know what's happening, but I've been told like do not go to Atlanta. Something bad about to happen. I don't know what it is. I need you to stay. If you continue, then I'm gonna make you have to stay.
Yeah. No. If it was me, I would have came home and I would have said, look, the president told me there's going to be a terrorist attack in Atlanta. You cannot go to Atlanta. Please stay here until things are settled down So you gonna have to make up whatever excuse because nobody else knows outside of this. He told me because I was talking to him today and I told him that you were getting ready to go to Atlanta and he came to me and he said, pulled me to the side and he said, look, we have intelligence that told us that there's something going down in Atlanta, possibly the airport. We don't know. Like you should not let your wife go. Or your husband go. And I would say, you need to stay here if you want to live, if you want to see your children. Otherwise, I'm putting them motherfuckers on the plane with you. If you want to risk your life, you're not leaving me here to be a single parent. Goddamn it.
Okay. That is very good. That is, and it seems legit. I mean, I don't know if it's as legit as the president's super secret party, but I guess you that would probably get me to stay. Your job ain't that important.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just have made up a lie. Even if he didn't know anything, if his gut told him like something was gonna happen, I would have just lied and said that I did know what was happening. And I would have made it the worst case possible so that she wouldn't have been able to say no.
Well, at the end of the day, I think we both would have did a little bit harder than what he actually did.
Than just saying stay.
So I'll do with you on that. Now I do have
or don't go, however it is you worded it.
Now I do have a question for you, which is so we brought up how he Xavier slept with the therapist, and let's just take it as the word. Say the wife is still alive. Did he cheat on the wife?
No, because he presumed that she was dead. He didn't know that she was alive. And we still, again, like I said earlier, we still don't know if she alive.
That's why I said
because let's just say she did live and make that recording. She could still have died. Somebody out there, in the world could have took her out. Could have been like, you got a burger and I want this burger. Or you found medicine, I want your medicine. You got weapons, I want your weapons, and killed her. So she could still be dead for all we know.
Okay, but let's just say
she is alive.
She is alive.
It's not cheating. I just said no.
No. Okay. Now, do you think? Now, say me and you was in there, right? I'm still alive. I'm on the outside world. You in Xavier's
position
for this, and I'm out there in the world. Say for whatever reason you come out there, you look for me, and you find me. Am I getting a hug right away? You think like I've been out here in this world, big musty for a year?
Why would that be my first thought?
Am I getting a hug?
Yeah, why would that be my first thought?
Because I often think about that, like, these people just, anything, Walking Dead, anything like that, where it's just like, I know y'all stank.
Yeah, but a lot of times they end up finding places to go and shower and things like that. They end up making soap and things like that.
But in this, there was like I said, there was natural disaster, there was nuclear war. So can you really get into that water? Would you trust to get into nuclear radiated water?
Yeah, but remember those scientists went out there and they said there's not radiation in the air. It's not nearly as bad as they anticipated. Water. I think they check the water too, because otherwise people would be contaminated. Babe. You literally have to drink water to live. So if that was the case, everybody would still have died within 3 days from not having water.
That water is not meant to bathe in. And they know.
Okay, so you're saying that they could drink the water, but they can't take a shower in it.
I'm saying,
or they can't bathe in it.
I don't think it helps get you clean.
I mean, that's how you feel. That's how you feel.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what it's like. If we ran into each other, like if I go looking for you, I'm bringing some degree, some lotion, you know what I'm saying, some essentials, so we can embrace.
I think your priorities are a little
so we can embrace
messed up, but sure.
Fine.
I think I would rather you have shown up with weapons so that we can be safe and get back to
I can bring weapons too. I just also got some degree. I can bring that too. I'm also gonna make sure I bring some toiletries as well. Okay. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to throw those questions at you because believe it or not, those are actually some questions that are going on about this show. Did Xavier technically cheat? And and what do you think people in the outside world smell like?
Mm. Well, I would assume people are resourceful and keeping clean because being dirty leads to infections and things like that. Like if you got a lot of dirt on your skin, you get even a simple paper cut that can lead to a really bad infection. So
Mm.
I feel like cleanliness has to be a high priority if you're, you know, out there trying to survive.
Maybe.
Mhm.
All right. But anyway, so let's get into it, babe. Let's talk about some plot holes of this show.
I
And
think we kind of talked about them already
did
as we
we?
went through. Unless you had something else you wanted to add.
No. Uh, not that I
I
can think
talked
of.
about Jane. Like it don't make any sense that her reasoning behind why she let the daughter go didn't make any sense
I,
to me.
I think it's just to play both sides. Like she knows that I think she feels like she needs Xavier, but she also needs Sinatra. So she shoots Sinatra to make Xavier believe that she's on his side and keeps Sinatra alive because she said pretty much, like I need you alive. Now she don't have to worry about Xavier, and she's got Sinatra right. Like I said, I don't know where the plan is. I think she has her own thing, and I think she, like I said, she might be a psychopath. So she's just planning for her. Like I said, should have gave her that week.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Well, if we covered all the potholes, then
Yeah, I mean, like I said, unless you can think of anything else you want to add.
okay, babe. So, moving on to our next topic.
Mhm.
Um, NFL free agency. It has been crazy. A lot of big names have been on the move. A lot of teams getting better. A lot of teams not making any moves, and people are wondering what they're doing. Bears made a lot of good moves, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on what's going on with that.
With what? The free agency?
Yeah, with the Bears free agency,
Mhm.
specifically the Bears free agency. I won't go over like everything because I don't really care.
Well, I mean, we got a new coach, so that's most important. We
Yeah.
got a new coach now that's making really good choices, and
Hmm.
they're trying to build a team around Caleb, so
Yeah.
that's most important.
So speaking of that, so what do you think about what they've been putting around Caleb? Some
I,
of the
I think it's a good choice because
Mhm.
they're all free agents.
Well, do you have any particular one or position that you think they've been?
Yeah, the new wide receiver and the linebacker
Mm,
and
okay. What about
the kicker
and what
and the
about
kicker.
okay? Well, I do think we do have the same kicker. Um, and actually, I don't remember hearing about any wide receivers. Possibly got a linebacker. But
We got a new running back.
no, actually, most of it's been about, like you said, protecting Caleb.
Hmm.
And so it's actually been the offensive line
Oh,
where,
okay.
yeah, where they went out.
I
They
don't know
got,
those positions.
but it's okay. They went out and got a lineman. You can literally just say lineman.
Okay.
They went out and got a lineman from Kansas City. They got their starting lineman, who the dude that's been protecting Patrick Mahomes. We got him. We got another guy from, I think we got the best center from like Atlanta. He was playing for the Falcons, and they came over and we picked up somebody else. I can't remember where we got them from, but so and they've all been like they're all pretty much like top rated at their position on the line.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good season coming
Yeah.
up for Caleb. I feel like he needed a good coach, and I hope that this coach is really gonna be able to.
Oh my god! I know. Like, what is his name again?
Who?
The coach.
I don't. know. I just know that we got a new coach.
Mm. And okay. And do you know anything about the coach?
Paul or Bob.
You were closer with Bob.
Robert.
No,
Bobby.
you.
Brian. Brian sounds like a good name for a coach.
I like because you said the same name potentially 3 times. But yeah, no. So
Sorry.
I got you. Our new Our new coach is Ben Johnson, and we actually got him from
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Detroit,
Yeah, he was the Lions coach, the offense, right?
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he's supposed to be some offensive genius. The only thing that scares me about that is because we used to have Matt Nagy, who worked with Kansas City. Like I said, he worked with Kansas City's coach Andy Reid, who's the offensive genius, and Patrick Mahomes. So we brought him over to Chicago, and he wasn't that good.
Yeah, but that's because he was working under somebody.
Well, he was in the same position that Ben Johnson was in.
Oh, so Ben Johnson was working under somebody.
They were both offensive coordinators.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I feel like I don't think we're gonna go to the Super Bowl this coming season, but I feel like I'm hoping that if Caleb can like really build a chemistry with his team, I feel like that's most important. To just like really get to know your people that are around you and kind of like get a visual and like really get those plays down, then I feel like they'll be good because that's really what it's about. It's about being able to kind of like get inside the head of your other teammates so that you can kind of visualize before they make the move where they're gonna go. I feel like that's the most important part of a quarterback.
I concur. Like I said, I will say I'm very happy for the moves. I think that one of the weaknesses that we did have last year was the offensive line. I think Caleb made his rookie mistakes. But I don't think that the coach last year, Eberflus, was any helpful to Caleb's growth or anything. He actually made some terrible callings as a head coach. That everybody, and it was like literally for the world to see. So I do think like, okay, we have an offensive minded coach, and we're working on our offense. So hopefully we take a step forward this year. Do you have any predictions as to how many games you think the Bears will win this year?
Half of the games they play.
So, and what is half?
I don't know.
Because they play an odd amount of games, so they can't really win half.
Okay, then the upside of the half.
Okay, so
how many games do they play?
So 9
before playoffs.
So there's 17 games in the season.
Okay, and that includes up to the Super Bowl, or this is all?
That's just the regular season.
Okay, so then so I predict that they'll win like 9 games.
9 games. So 5 more
than they did this year.
I think they finished off like 4-14 or 4-13.
Yeah, I predict that they'll win 9 games.
Okay, I got you. I want to go 9 to 10 as well. I want to stay in that range. So just so you can have your own answer, I'll go 10 games.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. You can copy me if you
want. I went 10. Okay. So I got my own number.
All right.
So you'll be in luck. Okay. All right. So with that, I shouldn't have clapped. So I'm sorry for y'all eardrums. But with that, thank you guys for joining us for another episode. I've been your host, Darius.
And I'm Jasmine. And like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media platforms that you will find at the end of the episode. And we'll see you guys next week.
Find us on everything at the We're Just Saying podcast.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
We're just saying.